Alrighty, well, for the first time in 2 years, I can't believe I'm saying this, but welcome to a new episode of the Ultimate X Podcast. I'm Gabe, joined here by Big Hoss. Ain't that right, Hoss?
Yeah, man. It's been, 2 years?
2 years. Actually, we were supposed to record this episode on March 11th, 2021. Behind the curtain here, we are filming this on February 11th, 2023. Almost 2 years to the date. Oh my God, it's been a long time coming, but I do got to say what's cool about this this new version of Ultimate X Podcast is that we're gonna be lined up with the pay-per-views. So we're gonna be looking at March's pay-per-view from 2005, and it's premiering in March. So when April's pay-per-view happens, it will be premiering in April, so on and so forth. So I feel like that'd be kind of cool. But Hoss, I do have some bad news.
What's the bad news?
So we were on Ultimate X Podcast was on many streaming platforms, many. It was hosted by a website named Sounder. Sounder is out of business. They do not host podcasts anymore, and they went out of business on January 31st, 2023.
Oh,
so
yikes. So like
you
a
do
month ago.
So you do not have any access to your podcast anymore because their website went out of business. So if you try going to Apple, iTunes, Audible,
Is all our stuff missing?
you cannot listen to any Ultimate X podcast things. But of our 44 episodes, 40 of them are available online still and are still preserved by a website called Mixcloud. So you can listen to episodes 1 through 40. So it's all 40 episodes. So it's only missing the last 4. Sadly, that does include the last pay-per-view. So we are not re-recording that because
well, it's a good thing. Part of the Meltzer notes today, I have a little recap of the last pay-per-view.
Yes, I was gonna say for people that have Patreon, you already saw the little announcement about it. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you got Patreon, but there was a little announcement that went out on it that I discussed. That I re-uploaded the first 3 pay-per-views though because those were preserved. So those 3 went up. The 4th one is not able to because it's not available. Trust me, I've been trying all day since like 11 a.m. to try to find a way to get these last 4 episodes. But they are the lost 4 episodes of the Ultimate X Podcast. It is crazy. Yeah, and it was filmed live on Twitch for people that were there live, so people experienced it. That wasn't really a review; it was just us watching the show. That was one of those.
Oh, it was a watch along.
Yeah. So it wasn't the usual what people get from the Ultimate X Podcast. But before we jumped into the pay-per-view, which takes place on March 13th, 2005, Hoss, what was happening in the world of wrestling around this time frame?
Would you like to observe some observer notes?
Oh, let's please observe some observer notes.
So Mr. Meltzy got me a nice little recap of Against All Odds. So early estimates are the show did at least as well as the first 3 pay-per-views, and perhaps even slightly better. When Dusty Rhodes booked the show, the whole idea behind Jeff Jarrett versus Kevin Nash main event is that it was the biggest star power match they could put on, and he felt it necessary, despite it on paper not being any good for buys. It may have worked, and it may have been word of mouth of the last 2 shows. This show wasn't at the level of the previous 2, but still had a blow-away match and several other good ones.
Mm-hmm.
However, half of the live crowd left before the main event.
Yes. And this is about Against All Odds.
Yes.
Which was the February show.
Dusty Rhodes is now a couple of months into his 6-month timetable to turn things around.
Oh, yeah,
He's going back to it with this show we're reviewing tonight, Destination X, which will be the 3rd time since November the company is putting on an Ultimate X match. It's a lot in a couple months.
Yeah, it is.
One would expect DDP to beat Jeff Jarrett for the title on the next show, if only because, like Nash, Rhodes sees DDP as a name wrestler, as opposed to the X Division wrestlers who are good. It's clearly obvious Jarrett has to lose. Live fans were furious when Nash didn't win, but in reality, that would have only made the situation worse. So yeah, Meltzer's is kind of.
They're gonna fucking hate this ending.
So this is early on. This is right against all odds. Meltzer's predicting the DDP wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what the first bit of news was here. So the negative of Against All Odds. Sorry, I just had a coughing fit.
I was like, what just happened? It went completely silent. I was like,
I
oh
had a little
no.
coughing
Oh,
fit.
Meltzer just had a sniper sent to your house. It was like, shut him up, shut him up.
Hold on one second.
Yeah. In the meantime, guys, we love to have you here on Patreon. Whether you're here at the $2 tier or $15 tier, we love having you. While Austin is having a sneezing fit. We're real excited for Ultimate X Podcast to make a return every month. Listen to this podcast and many others, like Into the Long Box, which is
All right,
every
back.
month as well. And Austin's back. All right, back to the Observer.
The negative of Against All Odds, good or bad, when it was over, they created no obvious matches you wanted to see for the next show. There was one major incident backstage at Against All Odds, stemming from the planned Jeff Hammond and BG James versus Michael Shane and Kazarian
Hey, our boy
match.
Jeff Hammond.
Shane and Kazarian were really upset about having to get pinned by Hammond. They complained a lot. Management blamed a lot of it on Shane Douglas, who's considered Shane's mentor, as they believe he made a bad situation worse by telling them it was bullshit for either of them to get pinned by a 48-year-old race car announcer.
Team fuck AJ. Team fuck Hammond.
It got mad enough that Jeff Jarrett considered firing Shane Douglas and maybe even Shane and Kazarian.
God damn.
The feeling is that Hammond is a major player of Fox Sports. He knows the president of the network, and this is something to win brownie points for the network's quest to get that Monday night TV show of their dreams.
Oh boy, and did they get it?
Other wrestlers told him that in wrestling this wasn't a big deal and it's just part of business. For what it's worth, because of Hammond, they got mentioned on USA Today.
Hey.
The other thing that's in danger of happening is most prevalent locker room cliques are forming. Basically, there's two groups backstage. The stars, who are the ones who were the names from the Monday Night Wars, and guys who can go, like AJ Styles and AMW. The company's trying to use both to their advantage. They have to, but there have been grumblings from those who have been there. The company needs to play the money players and not put the underneath guys over. So it's bullshit.
It's that new blood, baby.
As things stand right now, there's a 2-hour primetime special coming on Fox Sport with the best damn sports show period tie-in. Jeff Jarrett is trying to take a risk, though, and for the first time, move out of the Orlando studio. Let me see. Anything more important here? Oh, Apollo is backstage at Against the Lot. They're looking to use him as the next big Latin star.
Our fucking boy Apollo coming soon.
In major news, Kazarian quit.
Oh shit.
He signed a developmental deal with WWE.
Oh yes, I forgot he went to WWE, and he actually had a good record there.
Yeah, he was in Velocity, I think.
Yeah.
His contract expired months ago, and strangely, he was never inked to a new deal, so he was free to go whenever. And yeah, they're just kind of doing some weird things with contracts there. They're not signing a lot of the guys who are expired. See if there's any more important ones here. Oh, Sean Waltman was at the February 15th tapings.
Yes.
And he actually missed a court date on the 14th in California to make the tapings, but Dusty didn't use him.
Ain't that some shit? Amazing.
So it gets worse with that, and we'll get to that a little more after. Scott Hall suffered serious kidney problems after a drinking binge in South Korea. He was told it would be life-threatening to continue in that direction, and he was sent to the ICU.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this was definitely like the beginning of that Scott Hall crescendo.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about now that we know what happened in 2022. AJ Styles, in an interview this last week, said he prefers the X Division style and loves to wrestle Chris Sabin and Petey Williams. He said he hopes to get a big raise when his contract's up in 6 months, though he has openly been talking to the WWE as they want to sign him to join the SmackDown brand to wrestle Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero.
That would have been cool.
AJ response to that was, I could tell you for sure that a good half dozen regulars are talking about going to WWE when their contracts are up, and that's besides AJ and Monty Brown.
Kid Cash ended up leaving.
Yeah, he thinks TNA has a big chance to become a deal, though, because our pay-per-view has been killing it. He also said a lot of people forget what the X stands for. It stands for extreme. And we're extreme. We're extreme athletes, man. That's what AJ said. X Division stands for Extreme Division. Okay, so here's not sure what's up with Sean Waltman, but he wasn't used. As noted last week, Waltman was really mad 2 weeks ago that he wasn't used on TV, and he missed a court date and has a warrant out for his arrest because he stayed for TV. Jerry Jarrett spoke with him, and his attitude was, "You're being paid for the date, so don't worry about it." He was upset again when he got word ahead of time that he wasn't going to wrestle on the taping because there was a presumption he would be used. I don't even know if he was at TV and not used, which would be a ridiculous waste of money considering he's getting $2,000 per show.
God
Obviously, there's a
damn.
lot of skepticism about Waltman with his track record lately. Others argued that at the pay per view, nobody cared about Billy Gunn, but the place went nuts for Sean Waltman.
Yeah, bro, they really did. They
Yeah, they did.
literally did. And you see it in the little video package they show on this pay-per-view.
Kevin Nash claims he turned down an offer from the WWE to be Triple H's bodyguard in his feud with Batista. I was like, why? Why would they offer him that? He
Just
turned it
cuz.
down because he didn't want to do house shows and work the schedule, and they didn't offer him big money for a bodyguard role.
God damn.
Not that we're expecting anything to happen out of this, but discussions have been opened up between Jeff Jarrett, TNA, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Jarrett initiated contact in the last week. Rock told Jarrett he is interested in talking about joining Impact after his schedule
Could
gives
you
him time to breathe
imagine?
after filming the film Be Cool.
Can you imagine if Dwayne Johnson showed up in Impact in like 2005? Like
Dude.
the Christian Cage music, but it's The Rock coming out.
Nah, it just changes like his. If you smell to, do you smell what Dwayne is cooking?
And it'd be like
Um,
like a generic ass TNA song.
Despite TNA bringing in Apollo to be their next big Latin star, there are still plans to bring Shocker in. Do not worry.
Oh yeah, baby, from McDonald's.
Sean Waltman was flown into the most recent TV, paid, but again had nothing written for him on the show.
It's such a waste of money. Why fucking do any of that?
Um,
It
Waltman,
literally benefited no one.
I guess Waltman showed up to Against All Odds in a wheelchair. He had like a real bad injury going on,
But
so
then
that's why
just
it seems
casually
kind of
hits a
weird.
fucking Bronco Buster.
Yeah. Finally, for whatever this was worth, TNA officials were under the impression that Roddy Piper was just doing WrestleMania, as he's doing WrestleMania 21, Piper's Pit with Stone Cold, I think it was.
After he just did a Piper's Pit in TNA.
Yeah. And they believe that after WrestleMania, he'll be returning to to TNA. That could wind up happening, but if it does, it'll probably only be if WWE doesn't want to use Piper any longer. So yeah, that's the important things that happen between Against All Odds and Destination X.
Nice. Yeah, if I remember, correct us if we're wrong, Chad. I mean, we can't correct us listeners, because there's no proof anymore. But I believe the TVs going into this were not bad. Going into this pay-per-view, the most built thing that I remember reviewing on the shows, especially with Sinide, getting really excited for, because I believe, Austin, you weren't there for some of the episodes, right?
I was gone for the last like 4 or 5.
Okay, so yeah, so it'd be like those last those last 3 episodes. Because I believe you were at the pay-per-view. You did watch the pay-per-view with us.
I was not.
The most hyped thing. Oh, you weren't. Oh, wow.
No. I
So the
think we
most hyped
had.
thing I can tell you was the Jeff Hardy and Abyss match.
That's what I kind of figured.
Yes, which is we'll get into detail about that. But I remember the TVs being enjoyable going into this. I think the go home show we didn't see because we never got to it. That was supposed to be recorded but never did. But I think it's time, Hoss, for us to jump into Destination X on March 13th, 2005. The show starts off with a really cool intro. Fun fact, I watched...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so if you watch this on Impact Plus, the intro's perfect. If you watch it on YouTube, I compared it, the intro is silent. There is no talking, no music, no voiceover, nothing until the end of it.
The first 2 minutes of the video is just like some Egyptian pharaoh song playing with like a verse put over it, but like they weren't talking about it at all.
So I'm wondering if that was like something they don't own anymore, because they put it on YouTube and it was dead silent the whole time. And I was like,
stock.
that's what I thought too. I thought all their stuff was stock. and then just randomly cuts in. Maybe it's like an error on their YouTube upload, but I was trying to
Maybe.
compare it to see if there's anything different, and that was the only thing that was really different about the show.
I didn't understand a goddamn thing they were saying in this video. The whole
It
so
seems like,
I wrote down the transcript that played.
what does it say exactly?
It says it's not the critic that count. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again. Because there is not effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deed? Who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who at best knows the triumph of high achievements, and who at worst, if he fails, fails while daring greatly. So his place will never be with those timid souls who knows neither victory nor defeat. And then it just busting the homie tonight, ultimate.
But dude, I gotta tell you something. Who cares about faces being marred in blood and sweat when we get an up close shot of a woman's ass cheeks to start off this show, bro?
I wrote that
What?
down.
I was like,
In
whoa.
this show is them filming some chick from the legs up and then cutting to Mike Tenay and Don. I was like, what?
And that's the opening shot. Like it goes, TNA presents Destination X, and it's just these girls' butt cheeks. I was like, whoa, it's super jarring. Oh man, they say it's time for TNA's version of March Madness. It's time for Destination X. Tenay and Don West, they hype up the entire show, especially taking time to speak about the main event, which is for the NWA title match. They do discuss an incident.
They call it Ringside Revenge.
Yes, Ringside Revenge, where superstars on the outside. It's not a lumberjack match. They make sure they hammer that in your head. It's not going to be a lumberjack match. They're just going to be outside, just standing there. That's all they do.
They're there to prevent Jarrett from using a weapon or from anybody interfering, but then we get interferences all over the match.
Yeah, because the only people that would interfere in this match are outside. Like, I don't get it. Who else is gonna fucking interfere besides, who did? But we'll get to that. They do discuss an incident that happened on the pre-show where Abyss was taken away in handcuffs by security after an incident with Jeff Hardy. Ooh, will they have their match?
Ooh,
tune in and see.
10 minutes later on commentary.
Yeah. And it goes right from there to, this mother is a bread jam. 3 Live Crew come out. My boys, the 3 Live Crew. It's Conan and BG James taking on America's Most Wanted and Team Canada. It was
wrong. It was Conan and James and
America's Most Wanted. I realized it after I said it.
Canada.
And America's Most Wanted versus Team Canada. Because there was so much of that, like, oh, they're not working together kind of thing. It was like, all right.
Yeah. I wrote down what Road Dogg says.
Yeah, so I'll start off with this here. Conan and BG greet the crowd with their iconic intro. The dog, all the dogs, they bark. They're a little quieter this pay-per-view, but I did laugh with what BG said, so I'll let you go ahead with what BG says.
He says, Orlando, Florida, as well as the viewing world. Welcome to the doghouse. He then says, now then, let's kick that old school poo-poo with a new age swing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. NWA TNA proudly brings you its soon-to-be tag team champions of the world. Not 1, not 2, but the 3 Live Crew.
And I don't know if you guys remember recently, Johnny Devine just came back from being brutally stabbed in a bar in real life. And every time he's in the ring, if I remember this, because I'm watching this episode again, I'm starting to get flashbacks. I remember us really liking really liking Johnny Devine every time he was in the ring. And then he gets fucking hurt because we're told he has a torn MCL now. What the hell? Every time CFG starts to like Johnny Devine, this dude wants to get hurt. I don't get it. But it is a blessing in disguise, though, Hoss. It's a blessing in disguise.
Is it a blessing?
We get the debut of A1, who will soon to be known as A1.
Alistair Ralph.
He will forever be A1 to me, baby. Oh boy, what a meaty man Alistair is. And they make sure you know that on commentary, that he's bigger than Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode actually plays the majority of this match for Team Canada.
What's crazy, too, is that they consider Bobby Roode to be like the muscle of the team. If you put Bobby Roode in a team now that looked like that, he would not be the muscle of the team, which is crazy. But, this match starts off usual, with the Canadians having to regroup after 3OK send them for a loop. Conan does take his shoe off at one point, and he chucks it at Eric Young's chest. And then Bobby Roode comes in obviously angry, and then Conan hits him with the shoe, and I'm like, yo,
Conan turns around
ring
and
the
Conan
bell.
hits the back of the head with it.
I'm like, yo, ring the bell. Isn't that not a DQ? You can't use. That's technically a foreign object if you're using it that way.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
I want the. I've probably said this in the podcast before, but I want the TNA shirts. Canada
the
ones.
Canadian ones. I think you can still buy those.
Can you?
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, you used to. So I remember for a while, Impact had like a throwback sale, and it was like redoing their old shirts, and they sold the TNA.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like they sell it anymore, but they had it on their website, so they used to like 2 years ago. Someone's probably bootlegging it.
Probably.
But yeah, the Canadians are able to change momentum for a moment as Bobby Roode and Pete Williams outsmart Harris with a double team, doing some cheating moves and whatnot on the good boys here. Commentary does update us that Abyss and Hardy saying that they did resolve the issue, and we will be seeing Jeff Hardy versus Abyss tonight in their match, which I'm very excited for. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match. I'm still going to call him A1. A1 gets in the ring, slams around Chris Harris as we get a zoom in on the fountain of blood coming from his back. What the fuck cut him open?
I was confused. I wrote the same thing. I was like, how did he get busted open there?
It was just leaking, bro. This man looked like Bryan Danielson's forehead on his back.
I like the Alabama Slam Conan does on the Eric Young right after this.
Yes. Conan beats the shit literally out of everyone. He smashes D'Amore off the apron into the ring, and he starts taunting to the crowd, leading to Rude hitting him with his Northern Lights lariat for the 1, 2, 3. Hoss, what'd you think of this match?
It was all right. I think it was a good enough opener. Didn't overstay its welcome.
It did what it needed
I think
to.
Eric Young was the best for it.
It was their usual, let's cram a lot in this tag match, but it was still really good. Bobby Roode definitely carried Team Canada in the match. Like, Team Canada, I'm not saying they're bad wrestlers. I'm saying Bobby Roode was given the load in this match, and he was able to deliver. We cut backstage here with Dustin Rhodes, Tracy, and my girl Trinity, bro. I used to thirst over Trinity on this podcast, and watching this reminded me why I love me some Trinity, bro. But right as I'm loving that, Johnny fucking Fairplay. Those are my exact words in my script. Johnny fucking Fairplay is back in the Impact Zone. He says that he's the one that found the clue that brought the woman to the job that they're at now. Johnny then gets on his knees and begs Dusty, who says, "Whoa!" tells him to get off his knees. While he's like on his knees begging for Dusty and he's telling him to like stop being sus, Trinity's corpsing in the background. She's like covering her face while like laughing behind Dusty. But the main premise of this, Dusty gives Fairplay 3 hours, which is the length of this pay-per-view, to bring 2 guys onto the roster, and he can have his job back. Fairplay goes to hug Dusty, and he says, "No, get back from me, Jack." Dusty's real weird about Johnny Fairplay touching him in this. But then he proceeds to have a very not okay work relationship with both of his coworkers by kissing and wishing luck to his girls, who are also doing the same job as well. They're going to be facing off tonight. Winner becomes Dusty's official assistant. But he straight up just gives them kisses on the cheek. So I think he slapped one of their asses a couple weeks ago on TV.
Yeah, so I wrote down after the. So this is what the notes I wrote. I said, "This is so bad. Even Dusty's terrible." I said, "Who the fuck is Johnny Fairplay?"
From MTV.
Then I said, "Is the storyline here that Dusty Rhodes is fucking Tracy and Trinity?"
Literally every week he has been in the back in that truck. That truck is his office, bro. That's what he calls that. That's his DOA office.
Yeah. Okay, so I figured that out by watching it. And then he's like, he kisses one of them. She leaves. The other one leaves angry. He goes, "No,
Trinity's pissed.
No, come here, baby. Get Dusty Rhodes a kiss."
Oh man. Yes, he was a contestant on Survivor.
That's
So he was
Survivor.
Yeah, so he was actually like a primetime celebrity for a little bit when Survivor was popping in the 2000s. So,
I don't know when Survivor was popping.
Dude, crazy. Did he even win? He has 2 kids. Good for you. Okay, he came in 3rd place on one season, and then he came in last on his last season.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, but he does have a prolific wrestling career, mostly in TNA, and then he went off to Dragon Gate and
I didn't
WFX, where
know
he had segments with Jesse Goddard.
that.
Makes a
I
lot of
believe
sense.
that they're both television reality stars.
And as recent as May 2014, Fairplay has appeared in West Coast Wrestling Connection as the on-screen manager of Ashen Vuitton. So he's still doing stuff. Good for him. Glad to see. Glad to see. This was Impact trying to capitalize on pop culture stuff.
Yeah, they
But
always do that shit.
oh yeah. But it's time for what was really the main event here, guys. Chris Sabin taking on Chase Stevens in singles action. Let's go, baby. Chase Stevens gets his time to shine? Come on now.
Yeah, so he's with Candido now?
Candido's their manager, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So Candido was on TV, lost. He was basically like a glorified jobber. He was like a jobber with a name. And then he like sneakingly got a win one week, and the week after he was just put with the Naturals, and that was it. And it's sad. These are the last few months of Chris Candido's life, too, that we're watching. I believe in a pay-per-view, too, is we're going to see his last match.
Oh, we're that close to that?
Yeah, because it happened in 05. Actually, it may be the next one because it's Lockdown, and it was because he jumped. Yep. That may be, yeah, Lockdown may be his last match, and yeah.
Ever.
The leading cause to, yeah, with the blood clot in his leg. Crazy. But,
Does Chris Sabin age?
No, dude. And you want to know what's even crazy? Do you want to sound old real quick, Hoss? Both these guys were younger than us when they did this match, bro. They were around the age of 22 and 23. They were younger than us doing this. And I look like a baby compared to them. What the fuck? These look like full-grown men. What the hell?
Chris Sabin, especially.
Chris Sabin was jacked back then, too. Like, we probably said this before in past episodes. This dude was jacked in the 2000s. He looked like a different person. And he was considered small,
really
which is nuts. If a dude like that came out here nowadays, it's like a Buddy Murphy situation. Dude, that ain't small no more.
He was good.
He still is, actually. Like, I'd go on that limb.
Yeah, he still is very good. But like, 05,
different level.
Like, he's good.
And when he gets his heel persona in around 06 and 07, he's a different machine. He is so good. When he has like the blonde dyed hair with like the big goatee, that's great. That's money, Chris Sabin. But yeah, so Chris Candido taunts Sabin for the opening distraction, leading to Stevens taking the early advantage for a moment. They start off hot and heavy with Sabin hitting a big springboard dive onto Chase on the outside, and 2 punches for Candido and Douglas to get their little cheap shots in there on Sabin. Commentary is actually really pushing the athleticism of Chase Stevens. This is right before Stevens got a little bit of a singles push. I believe that he just did his big monumental moonsault off the top of the cage that they mentioned. That popped, like the crowd went nuts for it. Like they loved when he did that. And he did get a little bit of a singles push coming up, which was somewhat successful, but then it kind of floundered out when they started bringing in all the WWE guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're talking about how impressive he is on commentary. And you know what? I agree. No dispute here from me about Chase Stevens. Sabin goes with the cradle shock, which does get reversed into a pinfall where Stevens just shows all of Chris Sabin's ass cheeks to the crowd, like just full cheeks.
Did you see? I forgot what move it was in specific, but Chase Stevens reversed something, and he gets behind Sabin, and it looks like he's about to low blow him, but he kicks him in the butthole.
I mean, it's effective, right?
And then there was one sequence, the Sabin did like an enziguri into a tornado DDT. That shit was so smooth.
It was so smooth. The crowd even loved it. They were going crazy. They love Sabin, man. They love Sabin. He was a guy I remember on TV. They were having him lose on TV, or he just wasn't on TV. And I remember we were all saying like, "Why the fuck isn't this guy on TV more?" Because every time he's in the ring, he delivers. So, but good for him though. He rolls out from the little ass situation there. He rolls out of it. Gets the quickest 3 count I've ever seen in my life from the referee. I'm gonna go on the limb, say that referee was unfair. Chase Stevens was screwed in this match after Chris Sabin got the win.
The finish was sudden too.
It was very sudden. It was very quick. But is there anything that you have of note from this match?
No, I pretty much got what I said. My notes here just say this should be fun. Sabin is so damn good. Why is Candido here? Chase Sabin in the butthole, LOL. That Enziguri and the Toyota DDT was dope. Quick finish, and then I talk about the end here where
Yes.
I type 3-on-1 beatdown. Dot dot dot. Saved by a dude with a cool mask. Oh my god, it's Shocker.
Yes. Yes, after
And
the match.
the crowd give a vehemently who? And Mike Tenay reminds us Shocker was in a McDonald's commercial.
So this is my exact notes here. I say after the match, a mystery man lays out everyone in the ring. After they beat down Sabin, this dude he flies to the outside with absolute perfection. The crowd goes crazy. He helps Sabin up as it's Shocker quote from the McDonald's commercials. The guy
Yeah,
you see in your TVs.
so at the time, I believe Shocker was working for AAA.
He for CMLL, I have it noted here. He was the current NWA light heavyweight champion in CMLL at this time.
And how Mike Tenay decided to announce him was, it's that guy from the McDonald's ad. He's eating the cheeseburger.
And then I even put what you put too. I put the crowd for a second were like, who the fuck? As did I, because guess what? I never saw these quote unquote popular commercials as a kid. I never
So
saw one
I
Shocker commercial. And granted,
looked
I went on
into it.
YouTube, bro. I can't find these shits on YouTube.
Yeah. So I looked into it. There's like forum threads that are calling it lost media because they can't find this commercial.
Bro, I noted that. I said just people on forums discussing it. Dude, we went to do our damn research on Shocker
I
here.
was like, I've never seen this man. He's ugly as hell. I would remember him. And then I was like, I'm sure I'd remember if a wrestler was in a McDonald's commercial.
Me too.
And like, I couldn't even tell you what the commercial was. Cause I never seen it.
Yeah, I see it right here. Shocker's McDonald's commercial, and it's just everyone saying like, "Where the fuck is this commercial?"
Yeah, that's wild.
Someone said, "Quote: He's in the McDonald's commercial from out of town that goes to another school. You've never seen it." Yo, if they're so popular, how did no one ever see this commercial?
Like, how is this not preserved anywhere?
It's crazy. Oh my god.
Uh,
Anyways, but yeah, crowd didn't give a shit about Shocker. But
no,
I will say, I do remember Shocker becoming very popular with the crowd eventually. Like, I remember they start fucking loving him after. So I think we'll just have to wait and see if it even happens on any pay-per-views.
yeah.
We now cut to our bull rope match, Hoss.
Wow, Dustin Rhodes. He looked like the most local indie shit-rific. Dude, the goatee, the fucking
The
bright,
button-up.
the bright red pants.
The bright red leather pants. Holy shit, bro.
And then the crowd proceeds as he's making his entrance to just chant "Gold Dust, Gold."
And I will tell you right now, I even noted it here. I put time for the feud that has been absolutely forgotten on TV this entire month. And people listening, I wrote these notes when we were doing the show back in 2021. I rewatched the show with my notes up to see if I needed to add anything else in or any new notes. But I had the same thoughts, and when I went to go write it, it was already there. So when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, I looked through the past episodes. Dog, there's like no segments about this feud. They're just like, oh, Raven starts beating up on someone else, and Dustin comes in for the save. Like, nothing warranted a bull rope match. It did not need this.
This is a rematch from last month, if I'm not
Let me
mistaken,
see
right?
here. I believe it is. Let me see here. I'm just looking through last month. Yes, they had a regular singles match. I had 2 notes about that match. It's commentary makes it a point to mention Raven's losing streak, and I'm glad they are actually making this into a storyline. And my second note was these guys are having an all right match, and Raven cheated for the win. So those are my notes about the match from their first outing. Let's see how the second one goes. Yeah. So both these guys head to the outside as Dustin's pulling Raven into the giant Ultimate X structure. Like he has his arms in, he's just pulling him into it like a cartoon character. Raven eventually, they wrestle and stuff. He picks up the cowbell as Dustin pulls it back into his crotch with the rope twice.
So I wrote. First, you forgot to mention the little corner camera they used for this match in specific that Goldust was slamming Raven's head into.
You're right, I forgot about that.
And then Dustin Rhodes gets thrown into a chair in the corner by Raven before you get to the spot you were talking about. and the chair goes flying out of the ring, and Raven has to go get it. And I don't think that's supposed to happen. And then he did Raven. Right, we were talking about. I said, "Fuck Raven's elbow," LOL, when he fell on the chair. And then the next line is, "and his dick."
And the thing is, when he's pulling the rope, the cowbell's actually hitting his nuts. So while this is happening, Don West, rest in peace, Don West. This is the first recording with no Don West, by the way.
Yeah.
He's going, the rope burn, the rope burn, and I was like, dude, fuck the rope burn. He has a hunk of metal smashing into his dick. That is way worse. It's way worse. I love you, Dom, but that was the fuck the rope burn. Yeah, Raven gets barely any offense in this match. He just gets his fucking ass beat this whole match. Yeah. Dustin hits the Bulldog for the win, and Raven has he has still the worst win-loss record in this fucking company. And this is before he becomes NWA champion. He is on a losing streak that just kind of gotten broken last month. He won by cheating, having his feet on the ropes. And then he loses again. Raven sucked, dude.
Yeah, in the 2000s, he was a fucking loser, bro.
He looked cool, had a great song. But man, watching these shows back, it's dude, he lost all the time. The only time he won was against jobbers on Impact. Against Lex Lovett, who we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, all right, we'll talk about that later. I'm like, what the fuck?
See, yeah, I fucking hated this match.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the match. I wasn't a big fan of the sudden ass finish it had.
There's a couple matches on this show that were pretty duddy.
And then right after the match, I said, "Oh fuck, it's the Canucks."
Yeah. After the match in Canada come out and they attack Dustin Rhodes, and then America's Most Wanted come out for the save because America, you know what I mean? All Southerners, yeehaw.
Yeah, I was questioning because they teased an AMW heel turn in the opening match, but in the rest of the night they're just fucking. Actually, let me correct that. They're not faces.
Guilty.
They're a face here, but in their fucking douchebags later on in the show.
Then we get a video package here for Team Tracy versus Team Trinity. And believe it or not, this is the first video package for this feud, and it has been happening since, day one. It's been happening for fucking ever, since, the TV started. And it's just getting a video package, which I'm happy about, because they're actually putting some sort of attention onto this. So they each have their teams. It's Team Trinity's Phi Delta Slam, who got over on a dark match before one of the pay-per-views that are now put into this feud now, versus Tracy's The Disciples of Destruction, which are, what's their faces?
Ron and Don Harris.
Yes, the Harris brothers.
I'm going to let you read your notes and go through it first, and then I'll proceed to read you exactly what I wrote during this match.
Well, dude, as soon as this match started, Trinity opened up her fucking little coat, and goddamn, I said, oh boy, my girl Trinity looking like the hottest Goku in her orange and blue gear. Dude, I fucking love her, man.
Dusty's shirt too.
And I'm upset she leaves soon, because then she goes to ECW, so she leaves in a couple months, I think. I think the worst part of this match happening on this card is that this has primarily been built up on Explosion and pre-shows, and we've just been getting recaps from those on Dynamite. What the fuck? 9 nights on Dynamite. On Impact. We've been getting little snippets from those. So, why the fuck should we care? The only thing happening on TV is Trinity and Tracy arguing with each other with Dusty. That's it. The opening of this match is focused on if Phi Delta Slam can work around the absolute size and power of the DOD.
But Phi Delta Slam was bigger than both.
But their whole thing is that they can jump off the top rope. This match gets real sloppy as one of the guys called Bruno starts to get fuck. Sorry, people listening. My throat's kind of still fucked up a little bit. But Bruno starts to get real gassed, leading to one of the Harris brothers grabbing Trinity to wake her up. To wake up the crowd, I meant to say. To wake up the crowd, because the crowd was dead. So they grab Trinity, and the crowd goes fucking crazy, because, they like that. And then, while they're on the outside, Don Harris is outside as Trinity goes for a moonsault. And he fucking drops her, bro. He drops her, picks her up, bro. And then he tosses her ass into the crowd at full speed, and she just lands on the cement. It was nuts. The crowd was going ape shit at that point. And then the match just keeps going for way too long after that. They
got like 15 minutes.
dude, they should have gone to 15 more seconds. So at the end, one of Phi Delta Slam, they hit their big splash, followed by a big pin while the ref was distracted, but which led to DOD pulling off some Bella Twin magic, baby, and sneaking out a victory with a big boot. So DOD gets the win after some twin magic. What'd you think of this match? The only good shit was Trinity getting tossed around.
Here's my notes. What the fuck is this and why is this a pay-per-view?
It should have been on the 30-minute pre-show.
So the tag teams are facing off and the winner's manager gets to keep fucking Dusty. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yeah, so the winner gets to stay as Dusty's assistant.
I wrote, I already fucking hate the Harris brothers, and now they're just pissing me off by being on the show. Then I wrote, big fat fucking skip. I skipped about 3/4 of the match. My next line says, yo, I skipped forward and Trinity did a moonsault into the Harris brother, yeeting her ass into the crowd.
Shit was crazy.
I said, why is this match so long? Who approved this shit? And the neo-Nazi Bellas win.
For true. We then cut to the back, and Dustin Rhodes and AMW are backstage in Dusty's truck, and Dusty wasn't there. They're just breaking into Dustin's dad's office here, having a drink. Johnny Fairplay arrives again. He says he's here saying that he's looking for a tag team, and he'll be the manager of Dustin and AMW's new camaraderie, their new group they got going on here.
Yeah, he mentions a trios tag title?
Yeah. What? James Storm says he has to do the Survivor test in order to manage them.
Dude, I did not think I'd be watching James Storm riding Johnny Fairplay like a bull.
The Survivor test is that he puts Johnny on all fours. He demands for him to get on all fours as James Storm gets on top of him and rides him like a horse. And then that's the end of the segment.
You fucking asshole, kick him out of the truck.
Yeah, that's it. And then we get a hype package for a match I'm upset Sinide's not here to see because he was very invested with fucking Tritan. That's my boy right there.
Who the fuck is Tritan?
So, Hoss, I don't know if you remember back when we were doing the show. Do you remember those video packages where it was like, he's coming? Yeah. And it was like the Ultimate Warrior logo, basically. This is who it was. And he showed up at the last pay-per-view. It was, here, let's see what happened. It was during the Lance Hoyt Monty Brown match on the pay-per-view. Let's see. We learned that I'm trying to see what happens here when he shows up. Okay, yeah, the lights go out after Monty Brown hits a pounce. The lights go out in the impact zone, and it says, he's coming. And then he shows up in the impact zone. He shows up, and he came out to fucking Chop Suey. It was like a bootleg Chop Suey for his theme song. And I remember Sinai losing his mind. And then Monty Brown's like, obviously, who the fuck is this on the ramp? They cut back, dog, and he's gone.
Oh.
And every week he would arrive on stage during a Monty Brown segment, and then he would go away after the lights go out. So he's like their big spooky Undertaker. So that's who Tritan is. He's become our favorite.
So I looked him up. He before joining TNA, he got rejected for Tough Enough 3.
Yes.
And then I decided not to do any more research on him. So I didn't care.
But I was very upset he did not have his bootleg Chop Suey song tonight. He actually has
the stock spooky song.
Did you realize what the intro of the song was? It was Magnus's theme.
Okay, so I thought I heard that, but I thought I was tripping.
The weird yeah, it's Magnus's theme. It just doesn't have that come on like that Power Rangers song that Magnus had. It just doesn't have that. But tonight is actually the first night of Monty Brown's new theme, the pounce. It's the first night of that. Before that, he had the wah for you theme song freaks like me. Yeah, they must have gotten that cease and desist from both them and System of a Down, so they had to change some themes tonight.
Yeah, they did.
Monty attempts some punches on Tritan. I'll never call him Triton. He's Tritan. To take him down, but Tritan will not die as he raises Brown above his head and dangerously drops him, bro. And then he gets the "you fucked up" chance.
Yeah, this is where I wrote Triton is ass, and Monty Brown is not dude to carry this dude.
Tritan beats on Monty as the crowd is just chanting boring the whole time. Monty mounts a comeback to wake up the crowd, but Tritan hits a very lazy looking F5 that Monty is able to reverse.
Yes, I. Was this finisher an F5?
It was. Oh, well, I don't know. This is his first match. So
Oh,
I'm guessing, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, this was his debut, bro. I don't even think he did. I think after his debut, he did nothing. I think this was his first and last match. There could have been more, but I don't think so.
I looked it up. I'll tell you after, but he did a finisher.
So yeah, he reverses him, tosses Tritan across the ring. The crowd is back into the match whenever Monty has the advantage. That's when they really care. He hits the pounce, but right as he hits the pounce, boy, the lights go out. This is literally something we book. Like, the lights go out, and there's a masked man in the ring who gets pounced by Monty Brown, and then Monty pins him for the 3, and the ref fucking counts it. What? This is an interference, ref. This is... What? He pinned the not legal man, because then he looks to the stage after the match, and Tritan's just standing there with his hand out, all spooky, and he fades into the smoke, which did look kind of cool, but then they cut the camera to where he's walking into the tunnel. But and they're begging for Monty Brown, they're going, take his mask off, like they're begging for him to take the mask off, and then he just doesn't do it. So we do not know who this masked man is.
I do.
He somehow got pinned. How the fuck does that count as a 3 and a win? That's like if you and me had a match, Jonathan ran out, and I pinned Jonathan. That doesn't make any sense.
Do you know?
Was Russo on the writing team at this point?
No, he was not.
Holy fuck, you would have thought by the end of the show he was.
Do you know who was under the mask?
Oh, please tell me who was under the mask. I hope it's like Dustin Rhodes.
It was Midian.
What? What the
Yeah.
fuck is Midian? Oh, is this supposed to build to like Midian being like his boy?
I guess. This is his only appearance.
Yeah, I know. This is like the Tritan shit died out after. I wonder if that was like the goal or if they just needed a body. But you bring in Midian. What?
Yeah. Yeah, this sucked.
This sucked, dude. I love Monty Brown. Triton's a fun meme, but he sucks.
I looked up what happened to Triton. So after this match, he's never on pay-per-view again.
Nope.
He wrestles sporadically until May, when he's placed in a tag team with Simon Diamond. Oh, and I'm sorry, they do.
Was it Diamonds in the Rough?
We'll get to their pay-per-view appearance later in the year.
Oh, finally, we get another Tritan appearance.
He has one more match.
Let's go. All aboard the Tritan train. Yeah, this match was trash. And if that wasn't already a weird enough ending, we then cut to DDP doing DDP yoga in the back. And he's talking to Jeff Jarrett out of context. It's real weird, dude.
That was real weird.
He's like bending. He's like bends completely in half. It's very impressive, but very weird.
And he's like, Jeff Jarrett, King of the Mountain. I'm the guy with the sign.
Dude. I don't know what the hell was going on in this. I didn't even write down what he said because I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Oh, man. Well, now it's time for maybe one of 2 good matches on this show. And It's been hyped the most, and it's the match I am a very big fan of. I love this feud. This is a very iconic match. This actually, Austin, I know for the toy collectors out there, this match actually got a 2-pack out of it, where the DVD was a DVD copy of this match. It's Abyss versus Jeff Hardy, baby. And by the way, this video package ruled. It was just Jeff Hardy's theme, and I was singing it the whole time.
Jeff Hardy music video.
Yeah, with like them fighting, and you see the weird Jeff Hardy pervert with the binoculars on a roof, where it's very obvious he's on a roof. He's not even hidden. Like, what the fuck?
And Abyss is like looking at a trunk of a car.
Dude, we worked at Home Depot. We know those little like kiosk things that like in Garden. That's what he was on. You could see someone on top of that.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Abyss. I mean, we've learned Abyss is stupid.
He is dumb. Yes, he is dumb. That's very established in this.
I liked that they were like, this can go anywhere in Universal Studios, but they never stray away from the sound set.
Yes, they get to the outside where it's like the people that were turned away from the show got to like see shit, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so when this match starts, Abyss attempts not only to take Jeff Hardy out with a chair shot, but he tries to hit him with his finisher early on to no avail. Then they go colliding to the outside. They quickly go into the crowd, just minutes in. They don't even bother going into the ring and staying in the ring. Where Abyss tosses Jeff into a cage door near catering, and you can hear people scream as the cameraman gets rocked by a door that Abyss slammed. Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
That poor camera guy.
Don West goes, "What the camera guy do?"
Yo, he rocks his shit. It is a cool visual though, where it's like they look up and the crowd's going nuts out there. That did look cool. But yeah, they're just watching these guys are battling. I wonder like if they told them like, hey, you guys stay here, you guys might get something, or do they just like turn people away and keep them there through the show?
So I read into it. They do let people stay outside in case something happens outside.
Wow. Imagine staying outside the whole show and nothing happens. That sucks.
Yeah,
That's a waste of a day.
But they're first come, first serve there.
I mean, hey. There were 2 tables that were set up from Abyss. Jeff beats him down and lays him on top of the table. He begins climbing this huge-ass, like, X-looking metal structure, which is kind of cool with the name of the pay-per-view. And it's this footage, like, this clip is, like, everywhere on Impact stuff. But he does a swanton off of that, through the table, onto the concrete. Like, there's multiple tables there. Fucking awesome. Just... I've noticed, though, wherever Jeff Hardy goes outside of WWE, he just does the craziest fucking shit. He did almost this exact same spot in AEW and got fucked up.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
no, it's cool, man. I love Jeff Hardy, so I never complain. And to think, the crowd is still chanting, fuck Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
Crazy. But anyways, they begin to fight their way back into the arena. Abyss throws chairs into the ring and then begins to sit one up in the corner. While he's taking fucking a million years to do this, Jeff sets up a chair and holds another, drop-kicking Abyss with that chair. I hope this is making sense. There was a lot of chairs going on at this time.
There was a lot of chairs.
It was a cool spot, though. Like, he ran up off the chair and then, like, drop-kicked with the other chair and knocked Abyss over. It was cool. But Abyss just basically has none of that shit, and he hits a big-ass splash with the chair on top of Jeff for a 2 count. Jeff hunts around every side of this 6-sided ring. Every side until he pulls a ladder out, which got a ginormous reaction. I'm glad to see people are starting to love Jeff toward the end of this match. He uses the ladder for an awesome spring over leg drop, but in the end, Abyss threatens to choke Sam Hardy onto the ladder, but Hardy's able to reverse it for a twist of fate onto the steel for the win. Jeff Hardy gets the W, but just when you think he's going to get away unscathed, no. Abyss attacks Jeff after the match. He walks around and grabs his little bag of thumbtacks, baby. Sets those bitches up in the ring. Sets Jeff up. Bam. Sets him through the thumbtacks. Jeff is just coated in thumbtacks. It looked gross. And he's not like one of those dudes that wore a shirt and they're stuck to the shirt. Dude, this is shirtless Jeff Hardy after doing a swanton. Like, that shit hurt. You see them like sticking out when they zoom in. Ugh. That was cool.
I thought it was good. I thought the spot from in the back outside was cool from Jeff.
Crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, you kind of hit the table spots and the ladder spots on the nail.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to describe the chair spots because there's just so much. It's like, and then this chair was there, and then this chair was used for this thing on that chair. It's very hard to describe. The black hole
slam onto the text was wild.
That was fucking cool, man. He got so much airtime on that black hole slam. Jeff takes that move so well.
Yeah, he does.
This was a great feud for him.
Jeff's leaking blood out of his back, and the camera cuts to some like 10-year-old crying in the crowd.
Not Jeff.
Yeah, it is like fuck them kids, bro.
The kid turned to his mom and said, "Mommy, what did they do to Matt Hardy?"
Mom goes, "That's not Matt, sweetie. He's Matt's fat."
I will say though, this was definitely one of the 2 matches of the night. So definitely go out of your way on YouTube. Like we said, these are on YouTube for free. If you guys want to check them out, really, this is like definitely check this match out, and then the X Division one, that we'll get to later on. But yeah, this match was a lot of fun. Like I said, I got a toy of it, and every time I see this match, it makes me want to buy it. And then I see the price, and I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Like,
How much
it's
is it?
Dude. Oh, man, fuck. So it fluctuates. It could let me see. Jeff Hardy, Abyss, Toy Biz 2-pack. I have the one from the same line that is Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. It's the only Jeff Hardy Toy Biz figure I don't own. I own every single one but this one. To buy the 2-pack new in the box right now, it's $250.
God
$200.
damn.
$200. To buy just the Jeff without the shirt, $40. $300. Like, this is
Wild.
it's a very expensive 2-pack. I never saw it in stores. The Abyss is really weird. He has like his coat like open. There's two versions. There's an open coat Abyss and a closed coat Abyss. The open one, he's just fucking jacked. He's built like Batista. You can see his like 20-pack. And then the closed one looks more like Abyss because he doesn't have the crazy abs and stuff. But that one's even harder to find because that one was very rare with the closed vest.
Mm.
But I didn't own this because I never found it in stores at the time. It was always sold out because everyone wanted it because this match ruled. And it just says right there it's Jeff Hardy Abyss, and it's just a big-ass Destination X logo.
Oh,
So,
shit.
pretty cool, man. I own all the Jeffs but that one, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. I can live with it. I can live with it. It's cool because he has like the pink armband and shit, which he didn't have in this match. He didn't have a pink armband. He just had pink.
He did not.
He had pink
Paint.
paint. Yeah, but anyways, whatever. I'm not gonna nitpick on a toy from 2006 or sorry 2005 when this came out. So, but yeah, great match. So after that, though, we go right from that. We go back to the DOA's office as Team Canada is still all clapping together. D'Amore says that they sent a message tonight, and they said nothing's out of their grasp. They talk about all the belts they want. They want every belt. The NWA title. He looks at PD, talks about the X Division title, talks about the tag championships. They're gonna have everything soon. And Reggie says that.
So the funny part is he actually doesn't reference the NWA World
Oh,
title.
he didn't. Okay.
He just says the tag titles to Young and Rude. He says the X title to Petey, and then he just ignores A1.
He's like, "Yup, you're here."
Because then he goes, and you're gonna get healed up soon too. And A1's like, what about me?
You're gonna be good on Explosion.
That's basically where he lives in entire career.
But right as they're doing this, our boy Johnny Fairplay shows up. He jumps in with a huge Canadian flag on his back. And he's basically just begging Scott D'Amore for 2 members. He's like, come on, there's 5 of you. Let me just get 2. He's renting out Team Canada.
He sings "Oh Canada."
Yes.
And does the one line and then murmurs the rest.
Yeah. And Bobby Roode tears the flag off of him. He rips it back from him and he pulls it. And Fairplay, yeah, he sings the national anthem horribly. And they just stare him down awkwardly as he runs away. A video package for the upcoming match.
Ready for the fucking Outlaw? And how many different names they tried to go with for him?
So we talked about this last time we did the show, and they just keep calling him Outlaw. And I said it. I made it a firm point on the show. I am calling him Billy Gunn until he's called Kip James. I'm gonna call him Billy Gunn. I refuse to call him the Outlaw. He's daddy ass.
So I saved a portion of the stuff from the Observer for this because I wanted you to know how many names Billy Gunn had.
Okay, how many names did he have?
First, he was the New Age Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
It was cleared by TNA Legal, so they felt it was okay to use. WWE had no trademark on it, but they had to take away the New Age part because Billy's not young anymore. He's like in his 30s at this point. So they called him formerly known as Billy Gunn at the pay-per-view.
Yep.
And then other names that were picked by Billy and Jeff Jarrett, well, actually just Jeff Jarrett, were Mr. Ace, close to Mr. Ass, plus Dusty's idea for Gunn to make him a bodyguard for Jeff.
Mr. Ace.
Or he was going to be Ace Daringer.
What?
Daringer for the gun, of course.
That sucks.
And Sean Waltman was to be called Six Pac, except he's not. He's called Sean Waltman here.
Yes.
But yeah, so he could have been the Ace, Mr. Ace.
The Ace, Deringer, and Six Pac.
Regardless, he comes out to a very dog shit combination of the Ass Man and the One theme songs.
Yeah, I didn't like the song. Oh man, but it's crazy, like looking at Billy Gunn here and how no one gives a fuck, and Billy Gunn in 2023, how like much the crowd loves Billy Gunn. It's
because back in the
crazy.
day, Billy Gunn was not that great. He got the King of the Ring win in WWE, and then he got buried after that, I think.
Remember that promo where he's like, I'm going to bust a nut in your ass?
Yes, I do remember that. I also remember the, dear God, my name is Billy. Or the I'm not gonna Billy Gunn this title reign. Damn,
But yeah,
they really did chat on him, huh?
yeah, I know, right? Like now that I think about it, man, maybe 2023 is like the only like time Billy Gunn's been highlighted.
Everyone talks about X-Pac heat. What about this Billy Gunn heat, bro?
Yeah, this match started off real slow between these two. I mean, it's Kevin Nash and Billy Gunn in 2005.
Kevin Nash post double MCL tear in the WWE.
Yeah, short hair Kevin Nash. Yeah, he hits a clothesline. The crowd kind of wakes up for it. They battle around with some punches here and there. Billy Gunn pulls out a fucking screwdriver at some point where they're like, oh, what's he looking for? By the way, chat, this is a chat. I keep saying chat. Listeners, this is the first blood match for some reason all of a sudden. Like, they said it on paper. They said it on TV, but it's for no reason.
Yeah.
They're doing gimmicks for no reason. Yeah, he tries to shove it in the eye of Nash. It was a cool visual where he's trying to shove it in his eye, and everyone's like, ah, what are you doing? Don't do that. But Nash fights him off. He goes to the outside. He grabs a chair, but Rudy Charles takes it away from him for some reason. Why? It's a first blood. This man just had a fucking screwdriver trying to take this guy's eye out. He tried to kill him, and you're not going to let him use a chair? Makes no sense. He clocks Nash over the head with the screwdriver, though. No blood. I thought Nash was bleeding at the time because he had his fingers on his forehead and he was moving his forehead, and I was like, oh, maybe he's bleeding. He tries to send Nash into the corner, but oh no, the ref gets taken out, leading to a low blow from Nash. He drops Gunn on the exposed turnbuckle chest first, and somehow his face starts bleeding. Don't know how that happened.
I was real confused too.
The ref's knocked out, though, at this time still, as Jeff Jarrett runs out and clocks Nash over the head. Nash spills over. He is down and out on the outside. A doctor runs out and tries to... And what was the guy that was with them?
I forgot his name, but it was Jeff Jarrett's lawyer.
Yeah. He makes 2 appearances tonight. But yeah, this doctor comes out, quote unquote doctor, and he's just wiping the blood off of Billy Gunn's face. And the crowd is chanting, "That's bullshit." And it's funny because when they're wiping the blood off Billy's face, the crowd is still going, "He's still bleeding." He's still bleeding because he didn't wipe it all off in time. And then the best part was Mike Tenay going, "Is he putting on fake skin?" What?
You can't like. If you're gonna do a spot like this, you can't use real blood.
Yeah, you can't actually blade because it takes forever. This dude took forever to clean Billy Gunn's face because he's legit bleeding and it won't stop because he's sweating.
Yeah.
But in the end, Rudy, for some reason, rolls to the outside first and looks at, as you know, Billy Gunn still has some blood on him, but he looks at Kevin Nash, who's gushing, and he rings the bell. Billy Gunn wins as the lights go out again for a second. And I'm like, who's going to come out? And then nothing happens. The lights just went out.
On to the commercial.
Yeah. Oh, and then after the match, Nash beat up Billy Gunn. He hit his finisher and fell over. And the crowd was like, yeah, oh, when he didn't hit it properly.
Kevin Nash's thing, though, like post like 2001 is just falling with the bomb.
Yeah, I have no idea why. And they tried to save it on comments. They're like, oh, the blood loss, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. He just tried to lift up fucking 240-pound Billy Gunn and couldn't do it.
Yep.
But highlight package for the Ultimate X Challenge. Thank God this is another match to save the show. The way this match works, it's like a gauntlet. The first match is a tag team match. Whoever gets pinned is eliminated, which then leads to a triple threat match. Whoever's eliminated there then leads to the one-on-one Ultimate X match where you climb the cords. By the way, this whole time on the show, the cords have been set up and all that. They even made a note on commentary and Chris Sabin was in the ring. They're like, all that X is hanging up there. It's giving him energy. Because I guess he's like the Green Lantern or something and he could power up from the fucking wires hanging up there. But yeah, it's only really been used once on this show during the Raven match. People have really used the metal on the outside, which is kind of odd. But the participants in this match, teaming up first, AJ Styles and Elix Skipper versus Christopher Daniels and Ron the Truth Killings. Killings and Skipper start... Oh, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Yes. That was
oh, sorry. Uh, Killings and Skipper start off the match. Skipper is the one who looks the most impressive, though, of this in the entire time. For some reason, though, commentary's talking like people have been doubting Ron Killings being in the division. They're like, oh, if you have any questions about him being here, like, this is why. Like, when he hits that big, when he gets, he does, I think he does like a kick off the top rope. Or he does a kick to Skipper, and then Skipper returns the favor with a kick of his own. But when, Killings is doing all this flippy shit, they're like, oh, don't doubt him. I'm like, people are? He's been in the X Division for a while now at this point, since we started watching this. So I didn't know it was like I know people were doubting him in the X Division, but he goes to tag in Daniels after Styles asks for the tag, but Daniels jumps off the edge. Smart, honestly, because you can't get eliminated if you're not in the match. So that actually made a lot of sense. AJ shoots Killings off the ropes for a leapfrog, but Killings screws up and runs right into his groin. The crowd starts chanting, "You fucked up again." There's a lot of that tonight. As AJ hits one of the most perfect-looking flipping drop kicks that you'll ever see in your life. That shit was great. It made up for it. The crowd shut up after that. He hit that, like the one where he like shoots him off the ropes and he does his crazy. He starts marking out for himself after he does the drop kick.
He always does that shit.
So you can do that combination in 2K. They put that in his things. So you can like you shoot him off the ropes and he like drops down like he does in real life and does the fucking flipping drop kick. I do it all the time. It's so much fun to do. I do like the little touches they're doing here though, where Daniels is saving Skipper in the match because they're in a team, Triple X. He still cares for his former partner even though he's a heel. AJ does fly to the outside as Skipper hits the sudden death to Killings for the win. Killings is eliminated, and we now send it off to our triple threat match. But for the first portion, I was saying for the first portion, Hoss, did you have any like notes for that first tag team portion?
I thought it was good. Probably the best thing we've seen on the show so far.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Killings doesn't really fit in with them though, in my opinion. He's a little too big, and once he got out of there, he got down to the real good action.
But listen, it's not about limits, Hoss. This is the
extreme
division. So it's now a triple threat match. AJ Styles, Elix Skipper, Christopher Daniels. 3 guys that are very over in this company. Styles and Skipper trade kicks back and forth. And, dude, they look and sound brutal. Like, they are making a loud pop noise when they hit each other. So, really, really cool to hear because them damn kick pads, kids. Making them loud sounds. Daddy. I don't know why I turned into Dusty Rhodes at the end of that. Daniels climbs the cables, and me and commentary like, you can't win by doing this. What are you doing? You can't just grab the belt. But he eventually does the best moonsault ever from the top, like off of the cords. So cool. Like, very cool. And it was done perfectly. Like, he nailed that. What did Mike Tenay say? He goes, tonight it stands for the biggest moonsault ever. I was like, all right, that's cool. I'll allow it. So yeah, all 3 men are at one corner. Skipper jumps on the wire as AJ goes back to Daniels. Skipper grabs AJ's head for a reverse Hurricane Rana off of the top wire, which was really cool. So everyone really got some cool spots in on this, which is beneficial for all of them. Skipper hits the sudden death onto AJ Styles, but that damn Christopher Daniels rolls up Elix Skipper for the pinfall. And Hoss, we are now down to AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels in an Ultimate X match. But for that triple threat, did you have anything big of note?
I thought it was good. Daniels and Skipper tried to work together a lot, but then they kind of turned on each other, and that's when the match really got going.
That damn Christopher
Daniels. I was yeah, I thought it was good. I was more excited for the last part with AJ and Daniels.
Me too, 100%. But yeah, so we now go on to the final part. Ultimate X. Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles. Daniels, smart as ever, instantly starts climbing. As soon as they announce the match has started, that man jumps up there. But Styles is able to power him down to the mat. They fight each other basically with everything they got. These dudes go balls to the wall with this. Styles goes to start climbing the cables backwards, if that makes sense, but that's what he does. And Daniels hits him. Yeah, Daniels hits him with a huge flying STO. And I was like, yo, has that ever been done before or since? Like, in any Ultimate X match? Like, hanging there and then a flying reverse STO? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can't recall that ever being done, honestly.
Nuts. So, yeah, at this point, Daniels, the match, they do their thing. He's getting a little desperate here. He starts frantically climbing. towards the belt. He loses his grip at one point and has to yank AJ down from his feet. The crowd's loving this match. I don't know if he was supposed to fall, but if he did, it worked out. They were able to play it off. The crowd's loving it. They do attempt to pull the title down twice, but holy shit, does this belt not want to get unlatched. They are literally grabbing it with their arm and yanking it with all their force, and they fly down to the mat, and the belt just fucking flings up. And I'm like, yo, this belt will not fall down. Which is opposite from when they were doing it with the giant X hanging. It fell like 3 times. This belt was not, but they reinforced those clips. That thing was not coming down. So the ref got hit and like knocked out. I think the ending was he was supposed to get knocked out. AJ was supposed to fall with the belt, and Daniels was supposed to cheap shot him, hit him with the Angel's wings for the win. But what happened was they go to pull the belt down. It doesn't fall. The ref still gets knocked out. So they have to think quickly like, fuck. So you see Daniels go over to the ref, and he starts saying something. I'm guessing he's saying like stay down or something. Because AJ jumps up. He climbs to the belt real quick, unlatches it, and falls immediately. Right into that same finish where Daniels hits him with the Angel's wings. He takes the belt, lays it on his own body, and lays on the ground like he got the belt. Very cool.
Bitch.
A very cool ending. The ref wakes up. He comes to. He looks and sees Daniels with the belt on him. And there we go. Christopher Daniels, your new X Division champion. His first X Division title win in this company. And I know, Hoss, you haven't seen the past couple weeks. They have been doing nothing but building Christopher Daniels recently. They have just been priming him for the past like month. Yeah. Like before it was like all about AJ and stuff, but the past month they've been like hyping up Daniels, giving him like video packages, promos, big wins. So I'm very happy that they actually went through with it, giving him the win on this. And that scene of him holding the belt, that is still a scene they use in Impact today when they talk about like all these X Division matches. It's a very iconic scene of him hugging the belt on the like on his knees. So
yeah.
I think it was used in TNA's footage, like their intro and outro footage for years after this. But yeah, what'd you think of that though?
No, it was a fun match. Like I mentioned, there was like the ending period is what I was looking forward to. I kind of assumed it would come down to those two.
Yeah.
But once we got to it, shit was, you can't go wrong with AJ Styles and Chris Daniels.
Especially in their prime.
Yeah.
I think I know why they wanted to include the other guys, but man, I would have taken just this match for a half an hour. Because this was nuts.
Thankfully, we have a lot of AJ Styles and Chris Daniels coming up in the coming up years.
We will be seeing Samoa Joe very soon in the company. So, you know what that's going. You know what we're going to be getting to real soon. That triple threat. I'm real excited for that.
Unbreakable.
Woo! I believe it's 06. Yeah. Yeah, great match though. Probably, I'd say my favorite of the night. Better than the. I love the Jeff Hardy and Abyss one, but this one was. I think just that final one-on-one makes up. It was just like a phenomenal match.
I agree.
Johnny Fairplay now. He's backstage walking around. He's all bummed out, dude. He's sad. He literally starts to beg the god to give a team. And he sees our jobber boys, Buck Quartermain and Lex Lovett. I don't know if you remember, Hoss, but they were on a lot of impacts in the past. And we love them. Especially Lex Lovett. He looks like Lex Luthor.
Johnny Fairplay says, "Oh my God, it's superstar Buck Quarterman, and you're my favorite Lex."
He's a huge fan of them. And I literally say here, I go, dude, he must listen to our show in the future because, bro, we always hyped up Lex Lovett and Buck Quartermain as our boys. And then he basically promises them, hey, I'll get you 2 contracts, guaranteed TV on Fox Sports, guaranteed pay-per-views, guaranteed pay. Like, come with me and be my team. And they're like, all right, sure. We're jobbers. Like, well, why would we say no to that? So he does have his team. He's got his guys with a contract, but Hoss, it's main event time.
Oh.
It is time for the Noah World Title, the NWA World Title match. Champion Jeff Jarrett. Champion Jeff Jarrett. Challenger Diamond Dallas Page, formerly from New Jersey, now living in Hollywood, California. Like saying he's from New Jersey is going to make people like him. Oh, man. So, as we mentioned earlier, all the participants are outside the ring. They all get entrances as well. It's Monty Brown, the 3 Live Crew, Larry Zbyszko, Chris Candido in the Naturals, and Daggert. I think that's the guy's name, the lawyer,
That's the
right?
lawyer, yeah.
Daggert.
Attorney Daggert.
Every single one of these people in the past couple months have been screwed one way or another by Jeff Jarrett, which does make sense. Remember, Monty Brown screwed out of a title match. He's still been waiting for his title match. 3 Live Crew got screwed over by Jarrett because of Ron Killings. Remember, he was like taking away his title victories and shit. Zbyszko's been going head to head with him on TVs before this. The Naturals, where Jarrett's like hired hit guys that were in his side, and Daggert's his lawyer. So it's a little bit of a, well, it's not really even now that I look at this. Kinda, but Candido's just there because now he's lumped with the Naturals, but he had nothing to do with Jarrett before this.
He got real personal in this match, though.
Yeah, dude. So, in usual Jeff Jarrett fashion, if you guys remember from past episodes, Jeff Jarrett loves going to the outside as soon as the match starts, bro. The bell just finished ringing, and he's already outside taunting the guys. And I'm like, bro, are you serious? Like, that match. I gotta watch his AEW matches to see if he still does that. Because I'm, like, curious now if he still goes to the outside immediately.
He does sometimes, and I only know because one of the OSW guys live tweets the Dynamites, and he mentions that all the time.
He's always going to the outside. He goes to the outside a lot, man. He'll go in, he'll hit DDP like once, and when DDP like goes around to hit him again, Jarrett flees into the outside. Because they can't hit him, he just kind of stares down with everyone. There was a funny line on commentary though, where they say that Jarrett's one stroke away from winning. I'm a child, so I chuckled at that. Yeah, they have like an average match. It's a 2005 DDP and Jeff Jarrett match. Like, you're getting what you get. The crowd is usually hyped for these. Okay. Like the last one, they were sort of hyped. You know, it was Nash and Jarrett. It was built well. This one, like they were hyped, but it wasn't like they weren't into the match. They were like excited for DDP spots. You know what I mean? Or whenever he would taunt the crowd, they'd be like, "Yeah," but that was about it. They didn't really care.
It's them being tired of Jarrett as champion.
Yeah, you're starting to really see it at this point. Do you have any notes about the actual match before the brawl happens? Because I don't.
No, not really. I said this felt like every WCW 2000 match.
Yeah.
Main event.
So shenanigans. Oh, sorry.
DDP was all right. He was kind of overusing Vader's "It's Time" shit.
Yeah.
And the crowd was going along with it, but Jarrett was like, I don't know, it's tiresome.
Yeah, it's starting to. You start that Jarrett fatigue is kicking in. You can see it with the crowd. Luckily, it does end soon though, so we'll be getting to that. So shenanigans begin to ensue as everyone brawls on the outside. BG James has Jarrett's guitar in the ring at one point, and he starts dancing with it. And then he goes to hit Jarrett, but oh no! He smashes Conan over the head by accident. For people that don't remember, him and Conan are kind of beefing because Conan's like, "Yo, get your friend, fuck your friend Billy." Like he hates Billy Gunn, and BG's just like, "Yo, relax." By the way, they did show that really racist segment with Billy, where he said something about food, and he was like, "Yeah, is it a taco?" to Conan.
Yeah, he said, "Yeah, you got a taco, Holmes."
And I'm like, bro, he's Puerto Rican. Conan's not Mexican. Like, we don't eat tacos. We eat rice and beans. What the fuck? Anyways, yeah, Billy Gunn tries to help Jarrett. He tries to help him win. But it's our boy. Make some noise! X-Pac comes in.
When X-Pac, 6-Pac, the Pac, 1, 2, 3 kid comes out.
Pac that. It's the bastard Pac. He runs out. He's beating the hell out of Billy Gunn. He even Bronco Busters him and Jarrett.
Yeah.
And it was a very impressive Bronco Buster. And the crowd was loving Billy Gunn. They were loving Sean Waltman. So good for him.
Wrong guy.
And then just when Monty Brown rolls in, because DDP, numbers are kind of not on his favor. Monty Brown comes in, Daggert's in the ring. Monty Brown grabs Daggert, throws him to the ropes. He slides under the ropes. Monty Brown hits the ropes for the pounce and hits DDP on purpose. Monty
Yeah.
Brown pounces him out of his boots, drags Jarrett on top for the 3 count. What the hell did we just see, Hoss?
Yeah, I don't know how too thrilled with this ending, honestly.
Me neither, because the crowd loves Monty Brown. Why are you turning him heel?
And the crowd hates Jeff Jarrett.
And they literally, in the same night, were like, oh, his feud with Triton's going to continue. And then they're like, just kidding. That's all I was like, you sure Russo wasn't on this? Because this seemed like so sudden.
That's why we never figure out that that's Midian.
Oh, man. And like, this show goes off air. He puts his hand out to shake Monty Brown's hand. Monty Brown looks around. He picks up Jarrett like he's going to fuck him. Jarrett wraps his legs around Monty Brown and they hug. And Jarrett's like, yes! Jarrett's your still reigning and defending NWA champion. The crowd is not happy. They are fucking upset. Hopefully, there's a big payoff when we get to Lockdown on April 24th. But
yeah,
overall, 2 good matches on this show. It's 3 hours, 2 good matches. I enjoyed.
I watched it on Impact Plus. You can watch in double speed. I watched this whole show in double speed.
I enjoyed the X Division match. I enjoyed the Jeff Hardy and Abyss match, and I enjoyed watching Trinity. That's it. That's it. And whenever Dusty Rhodes talked, Dusty Rhodes funny. So
yeah, Dusty was pretty.
He's like, "What are you doing? Get off your knees."
I know you Johnny fair play.
Get your hands off me, Jack. Fucking, I love Dusty. Oh man, yeah, this show not good.
Nope.
Not good.
Better.
Let me see here. Let's see if we can get a little preview of what's to come on Lockdown. The Lockdown card is as follows, Hoss. Let's see if you get excited about this. It is 3 Live Crew versus David Young, Lex Lovett, and The Naturals.
Jesus Christ.
Apollo and Son Siaki versus Chris Candido and Lance Hoyt. Dustin Rhodes versus Bobby Roode. Shocker versus Chris Sabin, Matt Bentley with Trinity, and Sanjay Dutt in a 4-man escape match. Jeff Hardy versus Raven has potential. America's Most Wanted tag team title match versus Team Canada. By the way, all these matches are 6 sides of steel. The cage is up this entire time. Christopher Daniels versus Elix Skipper for the X Division Championship. Team Nash versus Team Jarrett. Do you want to know who's on the teams?
No, I want to be surprised.
All right. It's a lethal lockdown match. And AJ Styles versus Abyss, which is showing as the main event.
Real interesting.
Yes. So, very intriguing to see where this goes. Pay-per-view is going to be interesting. Look out for Lockdown. The poster score has AJ front and center. So, it'll be dropping. It happened on April 24th. By the way, this is the Chris Candido last match pay-per-view. It happened because the image is just his leg sideways, his ankle just completely shattered. This happened on April 24th, 2005, and it'll be premiering on Patreon on April 24th, 2023. Look at that. That's how these are going to premiere, Halls. These are going to premiere the date that they happened. So you guys are listening to this on March, 12th this show happened? March 11th? Why did I already forget? I already forgot.
They know. They're watching.
Yeah, March 13th. There we go. March 13th. Also, by the way, this has the iconic moment, just to get people excited, of AJ flying through the fucking cage door. I believe this is the match where Abyss is like getting in the ring and AJ just fucking launches himself. The one that's all over Twitter. I think this is the show, if I'm correct. So look out for that. Gonna be a fun time. Thank you for listening on Patreon, everyone. Look out for all the Patreon stuff. You got your Senshi selfies. You got the Into the Long Box stuff coming up if it's not out already. What else we got? We also got gameplays coming for people that are on Patreon here. We got a big ol' slobber knocker. We're slobber knocking each other. Was that too far? All right, cool. Nice. So, yeah. Look out for that. And we'll see you guys next month for Lockdown. Lockdown can stay. Bye.